everybody. It's your favorite psychic medium here doing another Spirit Speaks. Host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we teach you about your non-physicalness. My name is Patience. I'm here with the Guild of the Golden Triangle. Oh, thank you very much. I love you so much. I am so grateful to be here. It is my honor to use my psychic gift from childhood for good to help to the collective to get a higher perspective of linear views. We do on YouTube psychic development through the help of my spirit team, and on our TikTok we do our ascension process, and we have an Instagram if you want to keep up with our posts and our fun little things that we have going on. Okay, so we're gonna do a Spirit Speaks. We have Allie. Spirit has said Allie for so long, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And when I posted it, Spirit said wonderful. So disembodied, Spirit says. Oh geez. Here we go. Let me do a little bell action. Me. Okay. Let me move some energy around. Okay, Allie. Spirit, tell us about Allie. Let's look. Let's look in the Bible for Allie, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? Let's do a song. We haven't done a song in a few. Spirit, can you please give us a song for Allie? Let's see if we can get a song for Allie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spirit song for Allie. Oh, this one, I need lyrics. Can I have one with lyrics? Oh my god, this is called Allie Rose. Come through, Spirit. Come through, Spirit. Allie Rose, that's so funny. Spirit, I love you so much. Oh, you make my heart sing. Okay, it says, I picked you up from the corner store. Your eyes were red and your lips were torn. So much to say that subject sore. So much you changed since you were born. You wrapped your fingers around my neck and pulled me into your desperate breath. The way you kissed me hot and fast, I knew it'd be the last. Oh shit. Don't leave me hanging alone again. Don't leave me hanging alone again. Where'd you go, Allie Rose? Where'd you go? You told me I'm just so nervous, dear. Well, how the hell do you think I feel? I waited all year at your feet, like maybe you'd love me. Some unrequited love is going on here. Maybe, I don't know if Allie is the one who feels this way, or if it's the other person. Where'd you go, and I don't even care if it makes me sound insane. I ran my fingers through your hair, and I thank God to touch the flame. 'Cause I swore necks were made for bruising, I swore lips were made for lies. And I thought if you'd ever leave me, that I'd be the reason why. I don't even care, it's just a summer fling, it's all experimental. And you go back to safer things, but I swore hands were made for fighting. I swore eyes were made to cry. But you're the first person that I've seen who's proven that it might be a lie. What? Don't leave me hanging alone again. Where'd you go, Allie Rose? So, some kind of fling. It was a summer fling that was experimental. Maybe someone had some kind of lusty, um, like they were trying something new, like maybe like a gay relationship or something. And I think they may have liked it. I ran my fingers through your hair and thank God to touch the flame. 'Cause I swore necks were made for bruising, I swore lips were made for lies. I thought if you'd ever leave me, I'd be the reason why. I'm gonna say it for the data. I don't know if it's true yet, but I think someone may have had like their first gay relationship or something, or like take it or switch roles. Maybe a straight person had a gay relationship or a gay person had a straight relationship. Something like that. Okay.
We want to speak.
We want to speak. Spirit, tell me more in the Bible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tell me more about Allie Rose. Or I don't know about Allie Rose.
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Hope for the future. The prophet as sentinel. Ezekiel 33. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, speak to your people and tell them, when I bring the sword against a land, if the people of that land select one of their number as a sentinel for them, and the sentinel sees the sword coming against the land, he should blow the trumpet to warn the people. If they hear the trumpet but do not take the warning, and a sword attacks and kills them, their blood will be on your own heads. So this person knew about something that they should have told someone about, but they didn't. They knew someone was, this is just, it could be metaphorical, it doesn't have to be literal. I mean, it could be, but we're speaking symbology with spirit. They heard the trumpet blast but ignored the warning. So they knew something wrong was happening, but they still decided to not say anything. If they had heeded the warning, they could have escaped with their lives. If, however, the sentinel sees the sword, crack the whip, Spirit says. If, however, the sentinel sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet, so the sword attacks and takes someone's life, his life will be taken for his own sin. But I will hold the sentinel responsible for his blood. This person may have known that someone was going to be attacked and they didn't warn them. And now Spirit said that they're going to be attacked. You, Son of Man, I have appointed you as sentinel of the house of Israel. When you hear a word from my mouth, you must warn them for me. When I say to the wicked, you must die, and you do not speak up to warn the wicked about their ways, they shall die in their sins, but I will hold you responsible for their blood. Oh my gosh. If, however, you warn the wicked to turn from their ways, but they do not, then they shall die in their sins, but you shall save your life. So this person committed some sin or knew of sin being committed because they were in some kind of, let me read the song again. Something about something they did that was experimental in the summertime. The way you kissed me hot and fast, I knew it'd be the last. Maybe they saw someone having an affair. Maybe they knew about someone having an experimental affair or something, and they didn't tell you, collective. They left you hanging. They left you alone knowing that someone was doing wrong to you, and they lied to you. I swore lips were made for lies. They thought that you would never leave them, and that's the reason why they didn't tell you, because they figured you wouldn't leave anyway. What? Well, why would they decide that? That's not their decision. Wow.
Shut down.
They should have shut it down, Spirit says. If this person knew that they were lying, they should have told them. All right. What happened? Let's see. Thank you so much, Spirit, for being here. I'm so grateful to give the messages. Blech. Write the plot for a Christmas movie. And explain to your parents why you did poorly in school. So, this person could have told you, I guess Spirit may have given this person time to stand up for what's right from summer to Christmas, and they didn't do what's right. Explain to your parents why you did poorly in school. they did a poor job. They didn't do what Spirit wanted them to do. They gave them a chance from summer until Christmas to stand up for somebody that they knew wrongdoing was being done to, and they didn't say anything. Create a toy commercial. They were being
Basement.
they were being used, yeah. They were being used as a pawn or some kind of they were being viewed by someone as an object, as a pawn in some kind of movie that was playing out, not literal but metaphorically. What brings you endless happiness? They could have secretly been happy that this was happening to you. Why? Write a New Year's verse to the year's top song because they thought that you were on top. They wanted to see you not on top. Oh my gosh. Okay. Write a telemarketing message. So they would they would lie to your face basically. They're like a telemarketer. They would be like, "Oh, you have such a great life and I'm happy to see that you're happy." And Julia could be significant. But really they knew the whole time that someone in your family or your parents were doing you wrong. They were lying to your face knowing that someone close to you, possibly family, because this says explain to your parents why you did poorly. They knew your parents were trying to do something to you because they hated that you were always happy and that you were always singing songs and that you were on top for years. What is the most Googled search by your grandparents? They knew about something that.
Agree.
Okay, so I agree. They knew about something that your family was looking up and searching to do to you. Something they were plotting on you. Something they were planning on you. I don't know what it is yet though. Apologize to your friend for apologize to your friend you totaled their car. What brings you endless happiness? It's like at first it made them happy to know that something was being plotted against you, and it made them happy because they were bothered that you always were happy and that you were always like singing songs and you were always just in a good mood. And so, but then it got to a point, it's confirmation on my phone, but then it got to a point where it was like, it became like too late to tell you. And so they like totaled their car. Like, how do you know, after the damage is done kind of thing. They didn't know how to dirt. They felt like they buried themselves too deep because they kind of let it go on too long, and it would have looked weird if they told you by then. Wow. Tell the story of getting kicked out of a restaurant. They thought that, yeah, they lied. So whatever your family members told them was part of a lie anyway, some kind of plot against you, some kind of story to get you kicked out of the house. They were trying to get you kicked out of somewhere, and they kind of were okay with it. And then it had gone so far that it kind of just became the plan and the top plan of the year to get you kicked out of your house or something. And they started telling people, they may have started going around telling people, like, this is some weird, like, mind trick stuff, like almost like believing the lie because it had gone on so long. They started to believe the lie that was a lie to begin with about some kind of plot against you that they secretly liked because they hated how happy you were all the time. Wow, that's crazy. How'd you get the car stuck in a ditch? This is the second reference to a car. So something they were traveling towards, something they were
follow,
moving towards was part of this plan. Follow. They may have been following you, or like, it's so weird. It's like your family must have been telling them some kind of telemarketing message to get them to keep believing something. And it got to a point where they just believed a lie, even though they knew it was like something that happened over time.
sister,
Sister, it might have been a sibling that did this. They might have kept repeating the lie.
assurances,
Assurances. They kept assuring this person through the months or years that no, it's true, I swear it's true. It's true. So I think they started like following you or having you followed or something like that. But they knew it was a lie to begin with. It's like they wanted to believe the lie because you they were upset that you're always happy all the time. So it's like they wanted you to not they didn't want to believe that someone could be so happy all the time. Weird. Declare the terms of a duel in an old-timey western town. They were in competition with you. It became some kind of competition of happiness. They didn't. People are so weird.
we want to speak,
This is clearly a karmic person. They couldn't stand that you were happy. They were told a lie by possibly your sibling to work against you. They kind of liked it. It was like a guilty pleasure. It brought them endless happiness. And then they started to believe it because the sibling kept on assuring, Spirit said assurances, kept reassuring that no, this is true. Collective does this, collective does that. Collectives, collective did bad in school, collective lies, collective, like all these things. What's that smell? But it was bullshit. I smelled bullshit. It was all a lie. And by the time it mattered, or it was just something they didn't, I don't know, maybe they run in toxicity, so it's just kind of normal to them. They really didn't go out of their way to fix it or make it right or even ask you about it. Weird. Describe your favorite color. It like this is some brainwashing shit. It literally grew into some kind of weird favorite pastime to get you to prove that you are not who you say you are. But really, you were always who you said you were from the beginning. You never changed. It was these people who kept changing.
spiritus,
The spirit come through. These people just wanted to believe something about you that wasn't true. Tell your Tinder date they look nothing like their profile photo. That's what I thought. Because they were doing things that they didn't want you to know about. So they needed you. They were okay with you looking like you were a bad person because they were getting Tinder dates and stuff. Maybe they were doing unsafe. Oh, dark. Spirit says dark. They were doing dark things behind your back anyway. So that's why they were okay with you being made to look like you're a bad person. And that's why it brought them endless happiness and why they never said anything to you and let it go on for so long, because they were actually the ones who were doing dark things behind your back. And so if they could make you, it like justified their actions basically. It justified their actions to do whatever wrongdoing they were doing behind your back. It justified it. Warn someone that there's a swarm of bees coming for them. Yeah, they knew that your family was up against you, trying to destroy you. They knew. And they still chose to not say anything because it gave them an excuse to do whatever they wanted. Bird. Spirit said bird.
Alluvial.
Alluvial? What's alluvial? Let me look it up. I don't know what alluvial is. Alluvial. Relating or derived from alluvium. Considering that the internet as we know it is neither set up to be decentrally operated or nor user owned, the concept of being able to freely contribute and own a part of public internet infrastructure is fundamentally revolutionary. Alluvium is loose clay, silt, sand, gravel that has been deposited by running water. A floodplain. Yeah, this created a flood, and something about the internet. Something they did on the internet, because I have, what is the most Google search by your
Where is this?
grandparents? Confirmation. Explain the city to a blind person. This person, I don't understand people. Okay.
Kristen.
So, instead of telling you that your family was out to get you, because they knew the whole time, they allowed it to happen so they could do what they wanted. And over time, they started to believe the lies because your family kept assuring them that they were true, even though at first they knew it wasn't true. And then they never warned you that a swarm of bees were coming for you, and they went out into the city and started spreading these lies that they knew from the beginning wasn't true. So they could continue to do their online dating or whatever it was they were doing behind your back. They just didn't want to feel bad about themselves. They needed you to not be a good person so they could continue doing whatever they wanted. Explain to your parents you're dropping out of school. And then also it was like at one point it just had gone on so long that they felt like it was too late to tell you. They didn't have the courage to tell you. They didn't have the bravery or the balls to really tell you what was going on, so they just decided to let it keep happening. Describe a hippopotamus. Yeah, because this is going to be the elephant in the room when it comes out, because how could you do something like that to somebody? You let some just
Pants.
yeah, because they wanted to wear the pants. They wanted to be in control because they're toxic. Because they figured if they have this over your head, then they can do whatever they want, and then they can control you in that way. And then whenever you confront them about it, if you ever find out, there'll be so many people to back them up and what they said, even though they know it was never true. That's messed up. Write the plot for a love book or movie. They supposedly love you. They supposedly love you, but at the same time, if you really love somebody, how could you do this to somebody? Somebody who didn't do anything to you, somebody who's happy all the time, somebody who sings songs, who there's nothing that this person's done so far that warranted all these lies. What's your biggest goal? The biggest goal was to keep you blind to this. Explain the city to a blind person. They wanted you to never find out that they allowed your family to shit talk you and then knew it wasn't true, but because they wanted justification for their own actions of what they were doing, they let it go on instead of standing up for you, instead of saying no, instead of putting a boundary up. They let this happen. And I don't know, let's find out what's happening now. That's craziness. That's so wrong. I would never do that to someone. If someone is gonna go,
16.
if someone's gonna go out of their way to, especially a family members, are gonna go out of their way to talk shit about somebody that I'm friends with or that I'm with, I'm gonna question that. I'm gonna be like, why are you going out of your way to portray this person in a false light? Especially if I know it's not true. I'm not gonna go along with it. If this person wanted to do dark things behind their back, then they should have just let them go, not continue to let the lies go. And then so much time went on that they started to believe the lies. And they never questioned it. That's mental health. That is mental health right there. That's karmic as hell. What is this? Tell me more. 6th house, craft. In reverse. Work, details, health. This started to affect you. This started to affect you this started to affect your diet, your health, your work, your daily rituals. This started to affect your life in a negative way. All these lies being spread about you.
On land.
Spirit said, my land. It started to break up your foundation collective because by the time because they had so many people in your life believing lies about you that weren't true. So your work, your friends, your family, like everything was affected by this, by lies, because they're a hypocrite. Describe a hippopotamus, sounds like a hypocrite. Because they didn't want you to know what they were doing behind their back. They wanted you to be blind to this, so they figured this was a good way to make everyone see you in a certain light and see them as perfect. Like, give me a break. How selfish can you be? That you would ruin someone's life because you don't want to admit that you're fucked up. That's selfish. That's completely irresponsible. Mercury communication in reverse. And this says, warn someone there's a swarm of bees coming for them. They never planned on even telling you or even fessing up to this. They would have gone their whole life without even telling you that they'd set the whole city against you and your family too. Your family, they purposely put poison of lies in this person's head, and then they started to believe them because they wanted to believe them because they were already toxic, because otherwise they would have stood up for you. This wasn't your friend or spouse or whoever this is to you. They didn't want you to be... Barbara could be significant. They wanted to change the narrative. They wanted everyone's perception of you to be through their lens. They didn't want any of your ideas being reported or it being reported to you or the information getting out to you. They wanted to prevent you from learning about or gaining awareness of what they were doing. They didn't want you to wonder. They didn't want you. I mean, that's sick, man. That's like really cruel. Weird as hell. This person's toxic. What did collective do to deserve this? Did collective do anything? Why did they do this to collective? Ninth house, seeking. Because they didn't want you to leave them. They didn't want you to not be their friend anymore, or their whoever this is to you. They didn't want you to go on without them.
2020s.
2020s, Spirit says. Because both of you may had a different in belief systems or faith or something or religion. They didn't want you to know about that. They didn't want you to have a spiritual quest or aspirations. They didn't want you to leave them, basically. I just don't understand how people can operate this way and live with themselves. How can you live with yourself when you purposely set out on this adventure to purposely not communicate something that you know was not right? Don't you have any integrity? Don't you have a backbone? Don't you have any morals, or don't you feel bad? If you don't feel bad, then that's a sign that you may be a sociopath or have some kind of psychological problem, because this is not normal. This is not okay. And then you were tricked. Hey, Marge. Ugh. It's crazy, man. So crazy. 11th house, the edge. Then they started believing the lies. So they started spying on you, and they got a community to spy on you, to figure out what your goals are, to figure out who your friends are, because they literally started believing the lies that they knew at first weren't even true. I'm done. Like, hello, why don't you remember the summertime when you first were approached by this person's family and were like, and you thought to yourself, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. But they purposely chose not to ask you. They break.
5 o'clock.
This is experimentation. It's like they brainwashed themselves or something. They started to believe the lies that they at first knew were a lie to begin with, because they waited so long to tell you. They still haven't told you. Second house, assets. They didn't tell you because they didn't want you to leave them and take their assets, because these people or your family was telling them that you're some kind of gold digger and that you're only with them for money. But they knew that wasn't true. What was
Trying to possess you.
Yeah, this person was trying to possess you like a possession. They were viewing you like an object, and they didn't want, you weren't gonna leave. You don't even know this is happening. You don't even know that your family spread these lies about you, and this person never even. This is so annoying. This whole thing could have been prevented if they didn't have ulterior motives and didn't want it to be true. This person wanted this to be true so they could do whatever they wanted behind your back. And then they started to believe it. You're not out for their money. You don't even care about money. What did the collective want to be with them for? What was collective's motive? What was collective up to? Tell me about collective. Who's collective? 7th house, relating. Collective thought that you were best friends. Collective thought that there was a partnership, companionship. It could have been a marriage, best friends, some kind of partnership. They thought it was equilibrium, sharing, communion, justice. Wow. That is so foul. Ugh. It's really sad. Why did crawl? Spirit said this brought collective down to their knees. Collective would have. Collective was in it, man. Collective was in it to win it. They thought that there was balance, that there was some kind of equal sharing. They had no idea that this person was being brainwashed by their family. And this person should have known better. But because they were toxic, they couldn't admit to themselves that it wasn't true, so they allowed themselves to believe it. They allowed themselves to be brainwashed. I'm going to go outside after this, for sure. Yeah, Ace of Swords in reverse. They purposely wanted you to be confused and have clouded judgment about them because they were never doing right by you to begin with. And this was a perfect opportunity. They're an opportunist. This was a perfect opportunity to allow themselves to believe that their actions are justified when they weren't. Because they're a control freak. They knew if you found out about the fuckery they were doing that you wouldn't want to be with them anymore. Or be their friend or be their business partner, take it where it resonates. And they believed the lie that you were going to take all their money. Moralistic. They didn't want you to know that they didn't have as high morals as you. And this was took an opportunity to create confusion and chaos. But look at them now. 5 of Swords in reverse. Now they want it to be fair. Now they want to approach you and want you to forgive them and bring peace after stress. What does Spirit say about that? Spirit's frustrated. Spirit's frustrated. 9 of Wands. This brought a lot of anxiety and frustration to this whole situation. This created this collective, you're defensive now. You're like, I can't ever trust you because look at the chaos you caused. You purposely created blockages in my life just so collective wouldn't leave you. But you're the one who created it. This person can't sit in their own shit. The Sun in reverse.
Why is it cracked?
Wisecracked.
Infected.
Spirit says this person's infected with failure and depression and negativity, and they have low vitality now. Yeah, they have low vitality because they haven't taken accountability for their actions. If you look at it energetically, this person's field is covered with distortions because they created distortions, so now they operate in a distorted field. If they want to have any type, it says temporary struggles, so Spirit's saying if you want any kind of normality or normalcy of life, then you need to come clean, you need to come correct, and you need to approach collective and actually ask for forgiveness and come clean about the mistake you've made. Otherwise, you're going to live a whole life of depression and negativity. Your whole life. You're going to be restless. Page of Swords. Spirit says that there's still time to forgive. Collective seems to be a forgiving person, but it has to be done the right way. Gassed. It has to be done the right way. What's the right way? Collective's an empress. Collective's a freaking empress. You did this to an empress? How could you do that? This person got an empress in their life and fucked it up royally. Wow. That's crazy. This person's 7 of Wands. They're feeling overwhelmed, quitting, giving up. They're insecure. They realize... Kyle. Spirit said Kyle. They realize they messed up. They realize they messed up because of their own insecurities. Because they don't have boundaries. They didn't know how to create boundaries. You created a boundary and they probably took it personal. I just don't understand people. You had an empress in your life, someone who's abundant, nurturing, a beauty, someone who grows things, who's evolutionary, who takes action, who likes nature, who's peaceful. And you created all of this frustration and anxiety just so, because you didn't like that they were happy? Oh. A couple. Ugh. 3 of Wands in reverse. Disorganized, setbacks, delays. As long as they keep this travesty to themselves and they don't fix it, they will never reach long-term goals. They will always receive setbacks. They will always be delayed. They will always be disorganized, restless. They'll never have new ideas as long as they don't make this right. Look back, Spirit says. If they don't fix what they've done, Spirit is not going to let them get away with it. And God's giving them a chance to make it right. If they choose to come correct and apologize and actually undo all the damage they've done, then they have a possibility of new knowledge, of new ideas, of changing the direction of their path, because they are not going down the right path right now. What else, Spirit? The sun. A star. They need to follow their intuition on this. This could be an Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. They need to follow their intuition on this. If they want to have clarity, they know they need to do the right thing. They need to be upright. If they want to change the direction of their luck, of their abandoned, they abandoned this Empress. This Empress was in their life to bring them joy. And they looked at this Empress and got mad at them for being happy. That's not right. When someone's happy, you don't get mad at them for being happy. You don't know what that person had to go through to get to that level of happiness. You don't know the hell they had to put up with. You don't know the wounds they had to heal. You don't even know. 444 on the clock. This person has to come correct, or they're just going to live in hell. Since they abandoned the Empress, if they don't come correct, Spirit's going to abandon them. And it is not pretty when Spirit abandons you. It doesn't feel good at all. What else? Anything else? The Lovers, they need to bring harmony to the situation. They've disrupted the balance. They've ruined someone's life because of this. And now they need to make it right, or they're not going to have any... They need to redirect their values and find alignment with some kind of moral fiber, because they literally have ruined everything for this person, and they need to make it right. Spirit's giving them a chance to make it right. Something about the eclipse. There's an eclipse coming up. I think they may have until the eclipse to make it right, or the next full moon or something.
Not likely.
Spirit said not likely. Well, I hope they do. How can this person unfuck themselves? How can Allie unfuck themselves? How doing changes your thinking. The benefits of doing are twofold. Doing gets you doing what you need to do, of course, but it is ironically also the quickest way to change your thoughts. We know your thoughts can become your reality, and when your reality is one of acting on the things that are in your best interest, your thoughts will actually shift to match that. That's exactly what Spirit just said. If you continue to live in the energy of chaos and confusion, like you try to put this Empress through these lies, then you will continue to live in that energy. But if you decide to make it right and come clean and take accountability for your actions, you will live in that energy. So it's all about energy, you guys. We teach you this on Spirit News. If you like the way I read, I do readings. The information's in the description bar. You can contact me at patiencewithspirit@gmail.com, and I'm so grateful to bring the messages forward. I hope it helps. Love you.